the other one down. Put that one down. Yeah, now let's put your hand. Hey, look at that. Alright, good morning everyone. We're back from our holiday. It's been a good time, but it's definitely good to be back on the farm. So big thanks to Dad for looking after the farm while we're gone. And Sam and Jeff, between them, done a weekend when Dad was away, so thanks to you guys. But yeah, so pretty much today we're just going to be seeing what's been going on around the farm, have a look at a bit of damage, and yeah, so this morning we're lucky enough to have a nice day. Sun's not up yet, but we've got clear skies with a little bit of cloud hanging around. We have had one cow slip. I'm yet to find the cow. Dad did have her separated, but she's now, I think she's back in the mob, so I should be able to find her. But yeah, there's no calves in the break over there. This is their break from yesterday and the day before. So they haven't had any rain. Well, nothing substantial anyways. The ground's pretty firm at the moment, even though we have had some rain. So I'm not sure when the last lot was, but yeah, we've definitely had some rain this season. We'll go and check that out later on. The cows, condition wise, I think they're all right. I'll check on them later, see what they look like, but yeah, they always look a bit, when they haven't had a feed, they always look a bit hungry, but that's normal this time of the year because we're break feeding them. So we're on about a 90 to 100 day round at the moment. So yeah, but one thing I noticed is our lawn hasn't grown much and they haven't mowed it, so we haven't had a huge amount of growth in a month. So yeah, be interested to see how much grass we have around. I'll get a bit of a gauge once we start getting around the farm. And you can see, I'm not sure when the cows are in this paddock, but they have made some mess, because sometimes it's easier just to leave them where they are, because if you try and shift them from a break and you've got to run them through other paddocks to get back to the cow shed to stand them off, you end up making more mess. So sometimes it's easier just to leave them where they are and let them make a mess. So you can sort of see there's a bit of a mess just along there where they've been up against the edge of the bush. But one thing that we'll have a look at as we go along is a lot of the guts has been washed out of these streams. Normally those streams are just sort of a grassy, you know, more like a swamp, little narrow swamp, but the guts been washed right out of them. And you can see down here over a few days, well, over the last month we've had a fair bit of rain where it's just sat in the quarry there, and you can see there's a lot of silt in there, so they've had water sitting in there for quite a while. Anyways, let's carry on. We'll go and shift the other mob and shift the bulls, and then we'll go to the runoff and check them out. Don't want to get booby trapped. Sometimes Dad will have power coming from the other end too. Yes, look. I could have got a shock then, because Dad's got the power hooked on the other end. My dad, he likes to have power from both ends, and I remember when we first shifted to the other farm, when we started sheep milking 10 years ago, yeah, our old boss used to do the same thing, power at both ends, and I unhooked the reel, went to roll up and got a shock. So yeah, we'll just disconnect this end. In fact, I'll probably just let them through this end. So the 3 culverts that I picked up before we went on holiday, they're going to be going through here, because you may remember in a past video showed this here, and this fence here was laying down. Dad's stood it back up, and I see he's put in some, I'd say he's put in some new waratahs. Yeah, he's banged some waratahs in just to hold that up. Yep. You can see the water's pooling there, so that culvert must be a little bit blocked at the moment. We've lost a bit more on this side. There's the fence hanging down there. It's eroded a fair bit out of here, you can see, but it's, oh yeah, it's exposed the end of the pipe quite a bit more, so we've lost a bit more there. Also lost a lot off the bank over there. You can see it's quite clean and eroded. Yeah, very interesting. Just before we get too far into it, we're not actually the worst. There's farmers further down that are way worse than us, down through the valley, but past the runoff. So that river that we crossed with the ford, that river keeps on going down towards town. And actually the guy where we grazed 25 heifers, that river runs right through the back of his place, and he lost all the fences through the back there. So yeah, no, we're definitely not the worst. We just got a little bit of damage, really. A little bit of damage and a little bit of pugging and wetness, but that's right, it is what it is. So the flax that I cut up on the roadside a while back, I didn't film any more of it, but we ended up planting it through here. So we also got there's some cabbage trees down there that we dug out of my mum's garden. And then I think there's some totras. We planted some totras. There's a little gully just over here, quite a sheltered little spot. Yeah, you can just see them. I'm not going to walk down them, but they're still there. So yeah, we're slowly filling it up. So we dug the totras just out of the bush, as well as some other trees. Can't remember the name of them, but yeah. So this area will look really good eventually, and it pretty much hasn't cost us a cent because it's all flaxes and trees that we've dug out of the bush. So win-win. So I'm not sure exactly how much rain we actually had over the period, but you can see it's really opened this stream up. The water was up to this, looks like it was up to this wire here, the electric wire. So it's just above my knee. So actually it's taken the bottom wire off. There is a bottom wire, it's broken. Yeah, that's a bit more open, isn't it, Anders? Crazy. It's actually sort of drained the swamp. This here used to be quite wet, but now it's opened it right up. So as kids, I remember playing in here on the motorbikes, trying to cross the swamp because it was just a swamp. And now it looks like a digger's been through and opened it right up. So yeah, this is normally quite wet, so it's drained. So if Anders hopped in there, it would be over his head right now. That's crazy. You can see we're getting a bit of growth. You can see the grass is growing, and you got to expect this time of the year that the grass is going to slow down. It's not going to keep growing, so that's why we do a slow rotation, so that we can push that grass out and keep grass in front of the cows. You can see the water has really opened this drain up. You can see it's quite open. So this one here carries on running and goes all the way down to the old cow shed down there. It goes past. So this is where it starts. So that it's not a very big stream when it starts, and it only starts just up in the pines up there. There's just a spring that starts there. So yeah, we are the start of it. So this here's the boundary fence. You would have seen Dad had a video of this here. So the water has come down through here. So this stream here just starts up at the bottom of that hill there. It's just a spring, comes down through here. Normally all just swamp like that, and yeah, just comes straight across and cracking that fence. So what's done the damage, I think, is all the grass and dirt coming down. Don't fall in there, Anders. Anders, you get stuck. So yeah, all this dirt has come from up the stream. I know just last season, just because it was so wet before we had the flooding, that stream was getting washed out. All the guts was getting washed out of it. So Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so you can see this here used to be just like that, just there, that swampy area, and now it's just washed right out, all gone.
Yeah, what are you planting here?
Oh, that's just something that grows in the water. Right, let's get you to Kindy.
Whoa!
Mum's going to meet us at the cow shed. So that's where the water's starting, it's just a spring, no water up on the topsoil there. Crazy. Hey, you didn't go on the bus? Did you guys enjoy your holiday?
Yeah. Did it step up or else?
No, it's that one. Did you enjoy your holiday, Ezra?
Yep.
Yeah? Are you happy to be home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, better load Anders up, eh? So this culvert that got washed away, I didn't talk about it again while we're away, but they replaced the culvert, this culvert here. They used one of the ones that we brought for up the farm, which is a metre diameter culvert, and they stuck it in here, and then I think 2 days later it washed away again. The culvert, the plastic culvert that they put in there, which was our culvert for the farm, ended up down by the blue one. You can see the steel culvert just sitting in the edge of the bush there. It ended up down there. So this is actually the second culvert that's in. The reason why they didn't put this culvert in straight away is because that culvert there cost 14,000 just for that one. So yeah, it's not cheap, but it's a 2 metre diameter culvert, so that should handle the flow, because that big steel culvert that's down there was around a 2 metre. So they've actually shifted this culvert, or this crossing. The crossing used to be where that log goes across there. It used to sit right here, so they've shifted it up just to get it on some better ground, and I think to make it easier for trucks to come across. So yeah, it's really opened up this stream here. Dad said that it's really got a bit bigger than what it used to be, because obviously there used to be bush ground on the edge of it, but a lot of it got washed away, or they pulled it out with the digger. But yeah, pretty amazing, the power of water. So what they think happened with the steel culvert is further upstream, where they've got some planting, some flexors got washed downstream, and then a log went across the end of the steel culvert and blocked it up, and it caused it to get pushed out. So we'll take a wander down here. The flexors here have stayed, so we planted these flexors. Looks like we have lost a few rocks from here, but it's better be alright. It's not the end of the world. And we will still be building the cabin here, because the water doesn't actually go, the water wasn't up there, and it's going to be on piles anyway, so it'll be a little bit off the ground. So if it does flood and there's people here, it'll just be a waterfront section. So here's the culvert that was there. The other end's buckled. So yeah, something went into the end of it, and it's amazing, it just pushed it right out from underneath. My dad actually drove over that crossing when it was flooding, so who knows, that culvert might not have been there. But yeah, there's a lot of now there's a lot of rock down here because obviously it all got washed away when the first time they repaired it. I was just talking to a friend on Snapchat, and because I asked him how he was for grass and condition of his cows, and he said that his cows have got a bit lighter since they dried off and they're a bit tight on grass. So I think that's a pretty similar around the Waihi area. Everyone's a bit tight on grass and probably cows a bit lighter than normal. So just up the road here there's a contractor unblocking the culvert, and we believe that that's pretty much the reason why this part of the road slipped away, because the water, rather than going down into the stream, was actually just running down the road here, and you can see it scoured out the side of the road all the way down. And I didn't know it was like this, but it's actually undercut this side as well. It's pretty bad just there. So it's not just going to be repairing the slip down here, but also repairing that. A little bit of preventative maintenance wouldn't go astray, and they've known about that one being blocked for a long time. So you can see they tried to get the water to go there by putting these things down, but it didn't do much in the end. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Feel sorry for the guys down at Gisborne, the farm where we went to. They've had more slips and flooding, you know, so it's not over yet, I don't think. But yeah, it's a pretty substantial slip here. So I don't think this road's going to be open for a while, and this is how we get to the runoff that way. So now we've got to go around through town. So Dad has been going to the runoff in the tractor to feed up, but he's been going around through town. So he said it takes him 20 minutes going that way, whereas it would take 5 minutes normally going this way. So yeah, but I reckon you could almost come down here with the tractor, and the bank's quite a way back there. You could actually clear a track around it, but I won't be doing that because this here is still moving away. Dad actually came down and cut some branches off so he could get his bike along here and ride down to the runoff. Well, it's definitely not the worst, but it's not good. So I say there's plenty of other people that are way worse off than us. Way worse off. The sun's just starting to poke its head out. Must be nearly 10 o'clock. It looks good here at the runoff. They didn't have any flooding damage here at the runoff. It didn't seem to get affected, but yeah, over where we leased Danny and Bonnie's block just there, they lost all the fences across the back. I'll have to go over and have a look soon, because the cows, these girls are probably due to go over there. But yeah, the river starts at our place, comes right down through behind this, runs through this property here, and then goes down. So that's where we were grazing our heifers over there. Runs right through there, through the next farm, and comes down to, we call it the Barrier Road Bridge. Yeah, it comes down to there. So I think, yeah, it does. So it gets bigger and bigger the further it goes. So we're the start of it. You girls are looking good. Look like need a feed. They probably get shifted a bit earlier. Dad's a bit of an early bird. I think he leaves the house at 6. So a bit later for them today. Fence is still looking good. Keeping the stock in. So I wouldn't say we have a lot of grass here. It's pretty short, but I think that's pretty general in this area. So they're getting silage. I'm not sure how many silage bales are left. Dad's been feeding up, but there's still heaps of hay, so they'll get hay bales when the silage is gone. That's not good. It's not completely blocked, but it's definitely not unblocked. So something that doesn't happen to me very often is people recognizing me off YouTube. Had this lady come up to me in the airport. Her and her family were on the plane with us. Obviously I can't recognize people, but she recognized me. Sorry I didn't ask what your name was, but it was nice to see someone recognize me. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Right, we'll carry on. So a few silage bales. So right now we're over at Danny and Bonnie's. So there's a little bit of damage, mainly just fence damage. You can see there's the triangle paddock that's over behind those trees there. The fence at the bottom there, that's I can see there's some loose wires on it, so must be one missing. And then I can see that there must be some wires on the ground because you can see where the rubbish is caught up. It's wire that's been catching the rubbish. Yeah, it's this fence just here. This fence. So this place probably got more damage than what we have at home. Well, fences. I don't think there's any wires on. There's a wire right there. I don't think there's any wires on that boundary fence. Goes right over there. And there's no, that fence is completely gone. Where there's these 4 trees, there should be a fence there. There's a broken off post. So there should be a fence there. All the posts are gone. Doesn't take much, so you only got to get a, you know, like a bit of wood come down and just collect these fences and just take it away. It looks like he's already fixed this fence. Far out. It's crazy. Because the ground's so soft, all the streams have just been losing the banks. You can see all the grass has gone off the bank. It just looks really open. Yeah, so like I was saying before, this river here runs down under the Barry Road Bridge and then through the back of the mine land, the Waihi Gold Mine. So, and then it's heading towards the gorge. I would imagine that the water was over that flat, over quite a bit of that flat on the other side. So that's the going across the ford. The ford is just a bit further up here. So we're over the ford now. You can see there's a bit of silt on this paddock, and this fence all the way down needs clearing. So I might offer to come back and do some of that. I think he would appreciate it. So yeah, the river has definitely got a bit wider. It's been scaled out. I've still got my reels at least. They didn't go anywhere. I'd say there was water going, I don't know how far back in the paddock, but it's definitely going straight across. And it's fairly deep because there's grass on the top wire down there, so that would be at least 1 metre deep against the trees there. I've never seen that so open. There's a lot of dirt lost off this bank. It used to be out, sort of out here. Oh, I feel sorry for this guy. He put there's like a 5-wire fence that was put on there. You can see the waratah there, and there's a strainer. And it's pretty well flat the whole way along that paddock there. There's a new section of fence being put in here, so the water's obviously been right through here. You can see there's a bit of silt sitting on the paddock there. So I'd say Jeff had water probably come right through this flat. It looks like there's a lot of new posts being put in around the edge of that drain. Like I was saying, this is just a snippet. There's plenty more damage elsewhere. So there's a new stretch here. The water would have been right over the road here. New fence on both sides. So what it is there's a water, big catchment. It comes down through here, and the water actually comes down this way, and then it goes that way, joins into the main river over there, and heads down that way, which heads towards our runoff that we lease. So yeah, there's quite often a lot of water coming through here. So this is the Barry Road Bridge. So this is where all the water ends up coming to, and it also collects the water on the Whangamata side here. So any water coming down from the Whangamata Road comes out here too. So there's two pretty major streams or small rivers joining. So they've cleaned this up, but there would have been a fair bit of water going through here. Alright, so yeah, haven't been that busy this morning. Ended up talking to a lot of people. So what we're going to attempt to start doing is clearing this fence off. It's got a lot of grass on it, so we're going to clear it off because I don't really want it growing too much, or else it'll be even harder to get off. So I'm going to try and just break it all off there. There's quite a bit piled up here. I'll probably need to remove with the tractor or a little digger or something, but yeah, we're going to clear that off. Aren't we, Anders?
That's how deep it is.
You happy to be on the motorbike, Miriam? Have you missed the motorbike? And the two boys are riding around out there. Nothing like a bit of manual labour. So I've managed to clear most of that. There's just a little bit here to do, and then I need to move this away with a tractor. And probably what I'll do is I'll hook onto those posts, maybe see if we can have two tractors and lift it up, and then we'll be able to get all the rubbish off it, and then probably remove the posts, tighten it back up, and then ram the post back in to suit, you know, where the fence is going to sit. So yeah, there's been a lot of water go through here. You guys having fun?
That deep is real.
It looks like there's a lot of water sitting in there, eh?
Yeah, that's where it's coming from.
Are there any fish in it?
No.
I didn't notice it before, but some of the stuff's actually come down the stream. It's what they've pulled out that was in front of that culvert. Some of, I think that, I'm not sure about that, but there was an old tree that it was laying across from this side going that way that had fallen over the tanker drive years ago. They'd cut up. But yeah, a lot of this has come down the river, I think, and they've pulled it out. But it's actually, some of it's probably pretty good firewood. I think that there would be alright. It's just a tree that's fallen down for some reason. As you can see, there's plenty of gums up there that could do that. Yeah. What? No, not yet. Wait there, Miriam. You got it, did you? Is that fun? It's crazy how much the swamp is cleaned out. So this here I remember it as a kid before it was planted. We used to actually play a game of, it was called Storm the Heights. You had 2 teams and we used to cross the swamp, and a friend of mine was following me and I jumped over a smaller gap than this, and he stood in it, and it was up to his chin deep of water. But yeah, it used to be all swampy, just grass and mud water, but this rain has just chewed out the path right through here. So it's actually sort of drained the swamp quite a bit. Like I'm standing, this here was real soft, but now it's but now there's actual stream there, so very interesting. Put it in first gear. Tuck it down one. Down one. Alright, go. So me and Anders were just mixed up, or got some urea dissolving, so I've got enough here to do 2 loads. So I'm still putting on it at a heavier rate, so I think I worked out to be about 12 units of N a hectare. So yeah, we're going to keep going with that this season. The paddocks that I've done, we'll have a look at them another day, but they look like they're a much nicer dark green, sort of even colour. So yeah, but I've got to get going now. Suzanne's gone off to netball, so got to get home, look after the kids. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you somewhere else on the farm. See ya.